Hi boys and girls, today we're looking at our problems of the week, week 2, chocolate factory. So you should have your POW out in front of you as well as a pencil and a calculator. Don't forget to pause the video as we go so that you can keep up and write things down and have a chance to calculate on your own. Here we go, let's take a look at Monday. So Monday's problem says the Melt in Your Mouth Chocolate Factory is a rectangular building. The distance across the front of the store is 294 feet. The distance from the front to the back is 1/3 this distance. If the owners paint a sign all the way around the outside of the factory, how many feet long will the sign be? So I want to think strategy here and look over my problem at some important information. I see that it is a rectangular building. So I'm going to utilize drawing a picture here. Since it's a rectangle, I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle to start. And I noticed that the distance in the front is 294. So there's the front of my building, and it's 294 feet. It does mention that the distance from the front to the back, which would be, front to the back, the other side, is 1/3 of the distance. So if something is a third of a number, so like 1/3 of 294, that basically means I'm going to take 294 and divide it into groups of 3. So that's a little division problem there. So go ahead and take a minute, calculate 294 divided by 3. And that's going to give us my missing side. Okay, so hopefully you have the other, width there. And it does mention in the story problem that the owners want to paint a sign all the way around the outside. So that means he wants to paint the sign here, 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 and here. That's all the way around the side. Now guys, this goes back to kindergarten. I know a lot about rectangles. I know if the front of my building is 294 and it's a rectangle, guess what the length of my back is going to be? You got it, 294. Now I already calculated my side here, so if this side is that number, guess what that side will be? That same number. Those are the attributes of a rectangle. So now I just need to calculate all the way around the outside, and that will tell me how many feet the sign will be. Moving on to Tuesday, it says, the Melt in Your Mouth Chocolate Factory sells 3 times as many mints as it sells almond bars. It sells half as many almond bars as it sells caramels. If it sells 3,750 cases of mints each month, how many caramels does it sell in 1 month? Oh, you see these problems a lot in the POW, so it's super important to kind of get a good strategy in place to solving these. And the strategy I like to use most is to use a list. So I'm going to start my list with my sure thing number. My sure thing number is the number in the problem that just states it. So if I look back, I see 3 times as many, half, but then it says it sells 3,750 cases of mints. So at the top of my list, that's what I'm going to start with. That's my mints. Now I'm going to kind of go back. So it says it sells 3 times as many mints as almond bars. Okay, so I know how many mints that is. And if it's 3 times as many, I need to work backwards. And I'm going to have to find out and divide by 3 to get my almond bars. Then it says it sells half as many almond bars as it sells caramels. So whatever my number for almond bars is, let's see. Sorry, technical difficulties. So let's recap. So I know how many mints, so I'm going to do the opposite to find out how many almond bars. So I know it's my mints are 3 times as big, so almond bars have to be 3 times as small, so we're going to divide. And then it says it sells half as many almond bars as caramels. So once I know my almond bars, I know that that number has to be 2 times the amount, and that'll tell me how many caramels. So when I look at strategies, I did a little bit of listing, and I worked backwards based on the information. All right, on to Wednesday. Each case of almond bars contains 9 smaller boxes. Each smaller box contains 24 almond bars. How many almond bars are in each case? Okay, so each case contains 9 smaller boxes. So I can kind of almost draw, there's a case, and in there is 9 smaller boxes. So there's my case, and within my case are my 9 smaller boxes. Now each smaller box contains 24 bars. So in every single one of these boxes, there's 24 in there, 24 in there, 24 in there, 24 in there, so on and so forth. Each of these boxes have 24 in each. And I want to know how many that would be total. So there's 2 ways I could solve this problem. I could draw that picture, continue that out, right, and find out how many are in each case by repeatedly adding, or there's a more effective way to repeatedly add. Do you know what it is? Do you remember? It would be to multiply. So it's your choice what strategy you want to use, repeatedly add or multiply.